very powerful. This team has been playing like last series, like Ivy. They've also been playing in all these third-party tournaments. You know, the 1X series, the European Pro League, Dota 2 Champions League, and in 2 of those, they came first place. And I want to just point out here that it wasn't like a wish-wash teams in this tournament. They 3-0'd Into the Breach. This is the same Into the Breach that just took a game off Secret.
Yeah.
So, if we're trying to, like, look at skill levels here, Brame is definitely a contender here for this series.
Yeah, there's a lot to be said about momentum, through a LAN, through a tournament, through a regional qualifier, but even from tournament to tournament, they're on, a 5 or 6 series win streak, so they're absolutely confident and feeling themselves in terms of drafting and play style. Now they just have to transfer this into these TI qualifiers against, a star-studded squad such as Nigma Galaxy. And it's going to be a challenge, but I think you're right, they've definitely got what it takes.
100%. They're coming out mad confident. Bringing this Marcy Shadow Fiend into the mix. This team really highly values strong laning supports. Whenever they have 5-pick, I know they don't this game, but they love to take the Chen, the Undying, the Enchantress, the Dawnbreaker, the Marcy. These heroes they really like having. They just value it. I think it's good. I think a lot of other teams value it too in this patch. Giving yourself this lane good start really lets you snowball things. It lets you take your earlier level 6s into tower taking. You can take that enemy safe lane, you can take that mid tower. We've seen DPs that Nigma have picked up being able to take this exorcism into a tower, into a Roshan, into a tier 2. Any objective taking, any strong lanes, anything that you can really do to give yourself a boost in the early game has paid off massively, it feels like.
Yeah, it gives you so many options to smoke, to think about brute forcing stuff. I've got to say, I've been a big fan of this Shadow Fiend recently. It's looked incredibly strong. Now, you were saying very similar to Lina in terms of mixed damage types, long range right clicker once we transfer into late game, and a natural BKB buyer, which is always handy to have. Add in the fact that he's a flash farmer and he's accelerating as quick as some of your trolls and your alchemists.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, and it's nice too that he's not just restricted to this mid lane. We've seen him being played as a carry. And his lane presence is pretty good too. Obviously, they've picked this in response to a Death Prophet. I think they are assuming that this DP will be going to that off lane, and they want Shadow Fiend to kind of match it. Obviously, you don't have the best lane matchup possible. If it's a melee off laner, it's much easier because you can abuse them with raises. But at the same time, just the ability to out CS them super hard with those souls is very nice, and the ability to kind of clear these waves and keep them off your tower. The longer you can keep your safe lane tower up for, the better, right? And SF helps a lot with that.
Yeah. And now exploiting the fact your opponents of first phase Earthshaker, grabbing Rubik. So you've got 2 pretty nice supports here. The Marcy and the Rubik able to grab people, close the gap, and set up team fights for the Shadow Fiend. We saw even previously today, right? We had Marcy Pudge or whatever it was, hooking people into Requiem. Now you've got Telekinesis and Dispose to get them in on top of the Razors, the Requiem, and all the damage the Shadow Fiend brings.
Faceless Void.
Oh my god, we got a Faceless Void in the mix.
Here it is.
Alright, they lost to it enough times. They're mad. They're bringing it out themselves now.
I mean, best carry this patch, it feels like, along with the Troll Warlord.
I've loved seeing Troll. But yeah, Faceless Void #1 for me. This carry is insane. Pre Arlington, China heavily favored Faceless Void. I think they were the only region that was really picking it a lot and valuing it a lot. Kind of similar with Spectre, but more so on Faceless Void. And then at Arlington, we saw China come in, pick this Faceless Void, made it look really good. A lot more other teams started to then pick it up, and now we're just seeing it snowball into a couple buffs in the new patch, and he's looking really, really powerful.
Especially with the rise of Hand of Midas. Feels really good buying that golden money hand on the Void, and there is the Pudge again. Let's see this Pudge SF duo. Yeah. So it looks like SF going to be heading to mid, Pudge your carry. Marcy and Rubik, your 2 supports.
10 seconds remaining.
If you got one nice hero versus the Chronosphere, it's got to be Pudge. It does mean that anytime anyone's... I mean, Marcy too, honestly, if she does go Ether Lens build, gets a Telescope later down the line or what have you, you have the Dispose as well as the Hook to kind of help save people from the Chrono, which is going to be a very nice toolkit as well. Like Pudge with that Shard, he has another option there to eat. It's nice ideas. Obviously, a lot of how it plays out is going to matter. How many people get chronoed, whether Nigma Galaxy kind of go in and force spells to be used and then kind of follow up with the Chronosphere. Because a DP, something she's very effective at, is running in and forcing cooldowns, forcing responses. as well as that faceless void. When he gets that shard, we've seen a lot of times him able to just jump in and poke, get a BKB or whatever, and then just jump back out. Very, very strong.
I mean, Nigma right now, quite a bit of damage from that DP into Chrono. They've got saves from Chen, bit of tower push from him and the DP. Lots of ways to convert teamfight victories off the back of like a Blink Echo or a Chrono to actually get objectives. So pretty nicely rounded draft here for them. I feel like maybe they're lacking a little bit of damage and looking towards this potential mid lane hero for Sumail. We've seen Lashrak in the past. Might be something along those lines. Lena's still out there, right? Hey, hasn't been banned.
That's true. She is. She might get banned next. Brame have one
Yeah.
more ban. I like those long range heroes to kind of help deal with the Shadow Fiend. Something like a sniper, also kind of similar to that. Maybe not into the Pudge. Brame do have a lot of catch. I think that's probably the biggest thing about their draft right now that I think is scary for Nigma, because for them, they're going to be wanting to do a lot of like bodies. You get your DP, you take that safe lane tower, you go into the jungle, you stand there, you have Chen out front with his creeps and stuff. Like until Earthshaker Blink Dagger, they're a bit limited, and if they can bring Faceless Void to Chrono, of course, but he wants to get a Midas, he wants to get a Maelstrom, he wants to farm. So looking at Brame, they can really exploit that. They have a lot of playmaking. There's an SF in the safe lane. You can bring your Marcy there to kind of threaten the off laner and maybe get some kills there. Your Pudge. Actually, I'm assuming this might be Shadow Fiend mid.
Mid,
now that
yeah.
there's a Pudge, yeah.
Well, we did see some switch ups earlier, right? We had the 4 Pudge. We had people move around to give that Shadow Fiend the safe lane.
With a
5
Rubik.
seconds
Yeah,
remaining.
that would mean what? Marcy would be a core. Yeah, it gets a little bit messy then.
Yeah, it's a bit. Yeah, sorry. In that situation, yeah, then your Pudge safe lane. I mean, definitely hard to kill a DP, especially if you're a Pudge, because you are just kind of suffering in lane from getting right click down, siphon down.
Radiant
But there's
team
kill threat if they bring both supports. I think these are like quite aggressive heroes that can smoke around and do a lot. Oh no,
does
it's
this
gonna
mean
be a
DP mid?
All right, that's actually really good. I mean, Nature's Prophet is great at harassing in lane. It's also a mind control Nature's Prophet. Everyone, really likes that and respects it a lot. But Nature's is way easier to kill than a
10
Death Prophet.
seconds remaining.
This Pudge Marcy lane, I'm assuming with any Rubik rotation, is
5
now a lot
seconds
scarier for
remaining.
him. Potentially, it really depends on how the early levels go and if they're able to kind of deal with the harassment from the treants and stuff.
Oh, see how it goes. It's another hero that can scale as well to give damage into Chrono. Now we could be seeing this a potential Orchid build on the Prophet, zooming around,
Yeah.
finding pickoffs. Because then you've got pairings of heroes. You've got the ability to play with Earthshaker, with DP, and then the push that comes. Like if Nigma
It's a
are able
big
to
push,
win
yeah.
like any team fight, it's just towers crumbling.
I think Brame really need to pick a playmaker here. I need something that is able to sort of halter the tempo from Nigma. I want them to be able to fight without relying on a core that wants to be farming, because your Pudge wants a Vanguard, he wants an Ags. SF, he usually goes this right-click build now. He might want a Dragon Lance, and then he doesn't really want to get an early BKB, but he'll probably have to. And so it's just someone that is like, okay, I'm not super reliant
Oh,
on...
Choose your hero.
Yeah, I'm not super reliant on items. I'm ready to just go do stuff. This Pugna's okay. It's not any kind of hard jump, but you kind of have Marcy for that, and Pugna's gonna help you just
so
threaten towers.
they are moving things around. It's Pugna mid then.
Yep.
And Pudge
Carry
off
Shadow
lane,
Fiend.
carry Shadow Fiend. So yeah.
Oh,
Looking
yeah.
for that shift around. They do actually make it happen.
Okay.
What does this mean for our lanes then?
This takes
Like,
me
in terms
right
of
back to
matchups.
round. I think this is good because Shadow Fiend. When I saw the Nature's Prophet, it made me think, okay, Shadow Fiend going safe lane would now be better because he can use the razors to help clear the treants. He is obviously a kind of a weak carry, so it gets a bit scary if you're getting Fisher blocked, if you're getting treants body blocking you, right? But if they play it well, which they obviously can, they're a highly skilled team. This is very possible for them to bring heroes to rotate and get some kills on this lane, and then Shadow Fiend can maybe rotate to the jungle, or he can take the mid tower while Wish goes top and pushes that tower. Sorry, take the mid lane farm
Yeah.
on that Shadow Fiend. Yeah, they can move stuff up. I think this Pugna's going to be really good at pressuring the map, though.
Yeah, and it adds a little bit of tower push for them. And outplay potential for Wish here is pretty damn nice to have. With Decrep against Chrono, Decrep against a DP Ghost, the Prophet with the right clicks. You've got ways to save people with potential Pudge Shard, the Telekinesis Shard, like you were mentioning, and of course, Marcy with that Dispose to get people away from the grasps of Nigma. But yeah, I'm super excited here to get into game one and see how these lanes go, because I look at this Nigma draft and I think if they get 2 or 3 lane victories, the first 5-6 minutes goes well for them, this could snowball out of control pretty quickly. Brame have definitely got to screw their heads on tight, make sure that they're not giving up any sloppy kills or anything early on, and get the SF up and running. So we've seen how great he could. Shadowfiend's just such a great hero to like rally around and play around. If he does go for that early BKB timing, he just stands there, whacks people. You run at him, he requiems, and then you've got to reconsider how you enter these team fights.
We also saw this combo, right? They hook into the Requiem. They kept trying to go for it, but they didn't quite get it. Maybe we'll see it this game. That would be really hype.
I guess lots of ways to enable the SF, right? Dispose, telekinesis, hook.
I suppose the main thing I'm worried about is the last time we did see the SF, the build was going more for tankiness because he could rely on the Lina to do all that, actual right click damage with the Daedalus MKB. And this game, there isn't really anything that supplements that. So if he needs to build tanky to survive, like Chrono, for example, it could limit their damage output. But at the same time, your ability to burst with this SF ult, with this Pudge hook, and that was, you know what, we won't talk about it.
That's a Fisher and a half from GH. And get the Nether Blast down, trying to give him move speed, but the body blocks from Miracle, allowing Sumail to get a Crypt Swarm in. The Treants trying to get in front of him, but Nande's alive. Under his tier 1, safe and sound. Treants can't chase him down. That was incredibly close.
A lot expended as well, that Fairy Fire. I mean, SF does not have the best damage at level 1. That Fairy Fire damage is pretty needed. Maybe he'll just buy another one, or... I mean, he doesn't even have the gold for it. Maybe when he gets those bounty gold.
And an early D-ward there for Nigma as well, getting rid of the mid-observer. Looks like they're going to try and collect 3 bounty runes as well. Ruby has moved up top to snag that one. But yeah, Nigma in position to take top river, and bottom jungle bounty runes. So a very good start for them.
Okay. All right, a nice move by Nigma to secure those 3 bounty runes. Your mid is currently not going for a bottle, so shouldn't be too impactful there. I mean, Wish is going for one. Meanwhile, DP doing that stat build that we've seen a lot, coming out with the Falcon Blade instead. Or maybe he'll just go more for trying to CS in lane. You can't really stop a Pugna is the only issue, right? He gets this Decrepify, he's going to be using it on ya, he's going to take the range creep, whether by force of Decrepify or just with the blast from Never. I think they should just be trading farm a lot in this mid lane. Maybe, I think support rotation is going to be the biggest factor in how that goes, moving into mid game especially. Like, on these power runes, if Earthshaker is coming mid, how many times have we seen Earthshaker get picked and there's just a quap? It's always some quap or jumping hero, Void Spirit.
A park.
Yeah, like, God, it's so annoying, but this time there's actual threat.
Yeah, there sure is. There's so much to look out for this mid lane as well. Like, if you think about DP wanting to rotate with Exo, get involved in some of these side lanes at like level 7 or so, then Pugna's threatening your tower. But it feels like the laning stage is going to be extended quite a while in this mid lane, so there's even more time for what you're saying, for supports to rotate, think about guarding runes and playing active in towards their mids.
On the other side, though, there's no reason why Pugna 6 can't mean some good rotations from Brame supports. I'm not sure about earlier levels, just because, DP, one of her things and one of the reasons that she gets picked into like stronger lanes in the off lane is because she doesn't mind being in the middle of a lot of heroes. She just has Siphon. So if Brame was to come mid with, say, Marcy and jump on her, throw her back into the middle of her and Pugna, she's just going to get 2 Siphons off and kind of just walk it off. So I think they need that life drain maybe to kill her, unless Wish is able to really kind of whittle him down. But that's so hard nowadays in the mid lane with these war runes.
Yeah, war runes, wands, raindrops, all sorts of goodies you can bring to bolster your lane.
Yeah.
And Nigma have like the strongest. I feel like this is the strongest lane of this patch. Faceless Void Chen. Like, Miracle is just going to get farm. Is there a way they can stop this from happening? Like, what can you do to combat the Chen's presence in the lane?
First of all, they've already done it. They've blocked the small camp and they've blocked the medium camp on the jungle. This is probably like one of the most prevalent moves that people are doing against Chen nowadays. I think it started with LGD. Then we saw teams like Liquid doing it. Now We see Brame doing it. Other teams are doing it too, that I can't recall the names of. But it's something that is causing a lot of problems in the early few levels. I mean, Chen already has 1 sentry, so he'll probably get the D ward off on the small camp. I wouldn't even be surprised if we see the Rubik buying like more sentries just to kind of keep up that threat. Like he also has another sentry. Like they want to keep as many creeps out of the range of Chen as they can, and then you can look to kill him. I mean, it's a strong lane. You got the Fade Bolt damage. You got the hook. Like, you could probably pull Kuroki out of position and kill him.
I'm sorry, but we've got important stuff happening on the minimap.
I'm
GH has
looking
just
at it. What
won
is it?
2 games of tic-tac-toe in a row.
Oh my god.
Noughts and crosses. Sumail was trying to combat him, but GH just out-mind gaming him. Gets all the 3 X's in a row.
Dude, I'm not allowed to draw on the map. If I press
That's
control, it just
upsetting.
moves my camera. It
Yeah.
sucks.
It's annoying. I don't know what Sumail was drawing. It looked like a teddy bear or something. It had a cute little face, a nice little smile. Oh, it's good to see there. Yeah, they're in the mood. Having a bit of a laugh.
Yeah, I guess we'll be waiting a little bit longer.
Yeah, looking at this bottom lane, Mind Control Profit with GH Earthshaker, that is a very scary one. Especially, like you said, Shadow Phoenix spending Fairy Fire. Not having that additional bit. He has bought himself a new one. It's on the courier coming. He's got a pretty long walk down to bottom lane, and he's going to be there after the creep waves meet, it looks like.
GH has gone for kind of hybrid build of not going boots all in, but he wants to basically just like block the waves and give Mind Control a good equilibrium in the lane, and that's like the most important thing, because sometimes you'll see Shakers do a multitude of things. They might go boots level 1 and they focus on just dragging the wave as much as they can, and that's all they want. You might see a stats build where they get some sticks and branches, and just try and trade, and that could be an option, honestly. Like, Shadow Fiend level 1 is not the biggest threat in the world, so if they wanted to just work together to use Treants to kind of click the Marcy down, then that could have been an option. But instead, he's going to go for Windlace, which gives him the move speed to kind of play away from Marcy a little bit, potentially go for that drag if they want, but also getting the stick so that he can trade a little bit more, and the clarities to help block the waves.
Sorry, go on.
No, please, Gary.
I just like trying to play against what you've just said. It's kind of difficult to get pulls off against Earthshaker and Nature's Prophet as well, right? They're very good at contesting with Fisher and Treants to make sure that while they're upsetting your lane equilibrium, you're not able to reset lane equilibrium yourself.
Yeah. But
Miracle getting a bit of frantic scribbling on the map. He's can't let me get started. I want to hit some creeps.
I feel that, but I guess on the other side, like yeah, sure, these are all the highlights of like how this offlane can play, but if they don't get what they want and Brame gets levels, it's really scary to play against. So Marcy is going to have this rebound, like level 1, especially knowing that GH doesn't have the stats to really trade properly. You can just rebound onto Mind Control, hit him up. You have the raise level 1 on Shadow Fiend. They're probably just going to try and like go on him. At level 2, if they're able to get their level 2 first as well and not get too many denies from this Treants, another effective thing is if they hit 2 first, you have this rebound, you have the dispose back into a triple raise. That can be death.
That can, yeah, absolutely can.
Yeah. You got a bit of disengage there from the Fisher, of course, but at the same time, like, especially if you somehow end up near the tower, like if Earthshaker steps a little bit out of line, you can just throw him under the tower, get that kill. They definitely might. It definitely looks like they might have to play around some pulls and not just focus on lane domination, because one misstep can cause death against Brame.
Yeah, then you add in the effect of, later on, maybe we see the TP rotate in from a Pudge or a Rubik. Even more displacement abilities can drag these heroes around. I'm definitely excited to see them move in towards these mid lane, get into the side lanes, get that action going.
Dude, this is so weird. In game, I can only see DP's drawings on the map. That's why I was so confused what you were talking about. Because now I'm looking at the stream feed and I can see everyone's.
Yeah, I see everyone is scribbling on the map.
So I'm like, tic-tac-toe, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah. GH and Sumail were playing it. They had like 3 rounds of it. Some of them were cheating. So both of them were playing X's, so there were no noughts, there were no O's.
Do you prefer to be nought or cross?
Cross.
Yeah, same. Just feels more satisfying putting an X through.
It does. Just put it in that box.
Yeah.
So, is there a chance for Pudge to be left alone in that top lane against a Void and a Chen? Like, I'm looking at this
Nah.
Rubik and wondering if he can start rotating around early. Just have to play the lane?
You gotta... Okay, you can do it, but you gotta make sure the lane's in a good spot. Because if you can drag... Well, I don't know if you want to drag a wave so much on Rubik, sorry, but if you can have the... If the hard camp's unblocked, if you pull it, if you... I don't know, say you use Fade Bolt, right? This is a key tool of laning as a Rubik. It reduces the damage of both enemies and all the creeps, right? Which means that your lane will naturally push because you're doing damage to creeps and you're weakening their damage against your own creeps. So it will push under the tower. When you push under a tower, it means that the wave will naturally begin to push back in the opposite direction just because the tower will, kill all that wave. The next wave will end up under the tower as well. That gets killed, and then it just pushes to your tower. In a situation like that, suddenly... I'm speaking way too fast for how long we're being paused. I'm gonna milk this point. Sorry.
So, in the top lane...
As soon as that tower has killed both waves, now it pushes back. And when the creeps end up in front of Pudge's tower, he's pretty safe.
He's happy.
Yeah, he's very happy. The main tool that Nigma have in this top lane is if the creeps are under their tower instead, they have a long lane to chase the Pudge down. And
he's
really,
slow.
Yeah, he's slow. You can do a creep block, all this stuff. I mean, obviously the nice thing about Pudge here is that he can hook the creeps that Chen take over. So that is obviously a lovely thing there. It means he can't use it aggressively to kill, but it does alleviate some of the pressure. But yeah, if he can get this creep wave in front of his tower, he's peachy keen. Can't run him down, can't block him. Rubik's free to go look for the runes. There's also a chance, obviously, that they say, I'm gonna sack you. I'm just gonna rotate anyway, and he goes fine. And he just tries to farm the hard camp with the hook, or he maybe goes to his triangle and kills the creep in the hard camp there instead. He has options. You have to kind of weigh up. What do you like more, Gary? Do you like the Pudge getting farmed, or do you like the runes? And I think in this matchup, it's probably runes.
It's runes, yeah. Get runes for your Pugna. Make sure Wish has a good time in that mid lane.
Yeah.
It's like at the end of that draft, you were kind of looking for a playmaker from Brame, and they swap things around. They pick that Pugna, they move Pudge into the offlane. Is Pudge enough of a playmaker here? The fact he has Marcy and Rubik as his two supports, they've got displacement for days. Is their team fight going to be strong enough facing against Echo, Chrono, Exo?
They're not playing, I think, to team fight straight up into Nigma. They're playing to use the Pugna and the Pudge to save whoever gets chronoed with Hook or Dismember, Eat, or Decrepify, and
so you're poking, you're baiting, you're resetting.
Yeah. And then they want to steal and kind of re-engage because you're gonna have hopefully your Rubik's gonna steal a Fisher, or your Rubik's gonna steal Chrono. Yeah, or Exo. I mean, the Chrono obviously doesn't work on the Faceless Void, but if you can Chrono the rest of his team, you have all this damage from Pugna and Shadow Fiend to kind of unload into it with a hook follow-up, what have you. So I think Brame's game idea is going to be to just not give too much away to the cooldowns of Nigma and then make their move.
It's always one of those big things. You die to the big wombo combo, respawn, immediately smoke, go out and play that map as quickly as you can. And you're looking at, 160-second cooldown on Chrono at level 1. DP is pretty much the same story, 150. So you've got solid 2 minutes or so. 2.5 minutes.
If you really want to talk about Faceless Void, I'll be honest, whilst he's winning a lot of games, I think it's because a lot of teams don't really know how to end before he comes online. How many times have we saw Aqua when he was playing his Faceless Void, he got destroyed in lane.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of people were quite upset with Nigma and saying okay, well, they should have banned it. But I think, honestly, when you're in a position where you're 10k net worth up and the Faceless Void is piss poor, let's be real, you should win that game. Nigma have problems with throwing and not being able to finish out their game. And hopefully, looking, for Brame here, if they are in that situation, they won't be the ones that throw. I mean, whoever wins, but when you're playing against Faceless Void, you're clearly on a timer, and you have to kind of respect that. No matter how the game's going, he's probably going to get a Maelstrom, he's probably going to get a Midas. If he doesn't get a Midas, well, whatever. But they try to farm for quite a long time before peaking. The damage from Faceless Void doesn't come out till much later. So you just gotta respect it.
Play fast.
Yeah, I think this Pugna pick was great for that reason. We talk about DP how many times, all the things she can do, but she is restricted to the cooldown of her exorcism. Pugna is not. Pugna can, whilst he doesn't give Roshan objective, he does give tower taking potential and that threat. He's going to probably take mid tower first. He's then going to maybe want to give that mid lane to a support to get at levels or a core that's struggling, and then he'll go take top tower, and they're going to open up the map probably faster than Nigma, depending on how like this Chen plays and Nature's Prophet plays.
Yeah, you compare the 150-second cooldown of Exo to the 5-second cooldown of Nether Blast, and you're like, yeah, all right, pretty big difference there.
Yeah.
I've also got the opportunity, of course, we've seen these Marcies scaling pretty hard, the phase boots, BKB build, get the Unleash going. But when it's in the hands of Spartan, he is and always has been the not even just a position 5, but position 6 or position 7 player. You know, he is very selfless. He very often ends up with very little farm. So I'm definitely interested to see how well he does here in getting a bit of gold on this Marcy.
For sure. It's definitely my biggest concern every time I see a Marcy. I don't remember like, we saw Bignum pop off really hard on his Marcy and get that BKB basher, but I haven't seen it since. No one ever seems to really be like getting that amount of farm. Oh, that's
like Lodine tried it in the previous games, right? And he was like brown boots, ogre axe, and then, well, I'm trying to get BKB for a long old time.
Yeah.
Well, looks like Brame having a few issues. Hopefully they can get that all sorted. Swap the router out or something. Definitely going to get under the skin of Nigma Galaxy here. They are itching to play.
Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock.
Miracle's even dropping the Sleepy Keeper the Lightning emote in there. What's our observer looking for? What emote is Scriff going to? He's got the Meepo surprise hovered over. There's a Sleepy Cottle there. You're gonna put the.
Drop his Scriff. No one will hate you.
Just disappear. He's telling me to disappear. What are you doing? Are you going to type in all chat, Sheepo?
No.
No.
I just wanted to see if I could, but I'm too scared to press enter, so I won't.
It's a little bit spooky. I mean, gladly long gone are the days when observers and casters can pause. You know, think back to the Finol pause in the middle of a game, accidentally pressing F9.
Mm-hmm.
I accidentally slammed on my keyboard at the major, and someone paused at the same time as that happened. I got so scared. I was like panicking, like, oh shit, I've paused the game here.
This is mortifying.
Yeah, like, what have I done? Going down in history as the caster who ruined a team fight by pausing in the middle of it.
Yeah, imagine that. Like, you just like feel every single player look angrily down at the chat and see that you paused the game. You were suddenly the ire of everyone. Yeah,
3,000 people in the crowd booing, jeering.
I hate you, Gareth. Oh, you're the worst.
Oh, jeez. Oh, that ain't good, is it?
Oh, what? Oh, I'm guessing they're restarting their Rua.
Yeah, I'd hope so. I mean, one of them did say DDoS, and I really hope that's not the case. It's been a long time since we've had that kind of scenario.
I've been very excited to watch Brame play, so I really want to watch this game.
Yeah, especially with the draft they've got. You know, we've seen Shadowfiend popping up. Pugna's definitely a bit of flair from Wish. He's always been one of those players. You know, I remember him back 5 years ago or something, playing in like joined Dota League and stuff like that, where he was known as like the Tinker Spammer, the SF player, stuff like that. He's always been one of the kind of flashy players.
God, yeah, Wish is the Tinker Spammer. I completely forgot that was like the only thing he was known for a while, wasn't it?
Yeah.
God, Jesus Christ, yeah, he's grown so much. Look at him go.
Mind control says go. They're all disconnected.
Yeah, we should reply. Yeah, go. Yeah,
Yes.
I'll tab in. I'll stand in, guys. Don't worry. I'm a great Pudge player.
Oh my goodness gracious me. But yeah, I think some parallels between Wish and Thompson, especially now he's got the Pugna picked up, right? Flashy player, gets up in the face of his opponents. He's not afraid of anything.
Yeah. You want to just talk about completely different player for a moment? I woke up this morning. I stretched my arms like, oh yes, what a great day to be alive. And then I opened my PC. What do I see? My boy Alacrity from Southeast Asia playing Meepo. Oh yeah, what a good day. First time picked in these quals.
Did he win?
Yes, he did. I think they went on to lose the series, which is sad, but I think he won the Meepo game. I was kind of nice to see he bought the Ags as well with the new dig.
Oh, is that the one where you go underground, you're like invincible, like stone form from Visage kind of deal?
Yeah, exactly. But they've really hyper buffed it in the last patch where it doesn't have channel time anymore. That was like probably my biggest a grievance with it previously. I was just like, bros, this thing is on a 50-second cooldown, and if I use it and it gets cancelled, it goes on cooldown. Like as in if someone cancels it with a silence, a stun, a root, anything.
Yeah, that's not great.
Yeah, I was like, this sucks, man. And now it's honestly very OP. The hero just kind of still sucks in the early game, which is annoying. Which is why I think a lot of people still aren't picking the hero. But it was really cool to see them play it in that match.
Oh,
and are we going?
We're blessed.
All right. I nearly
blessed with Dota 2.
Yeah, you're lucky. You got out of this one. I was about to talk about Meepo for like 10 more minutes, bro.
That's what I was about to start asking you questions about Meepo. What kind of items do you build?
Pause the game. Pause the game. I'm cutting the internet.
No, we're back underway. Game 1, best of 3 if you're just joining us. Lower bracket round 1 here. Nigma did get dropped down by Goon Squad, so they're playing up against Brame to try and find their way towards the International 11. Brame, no slouches.
We have exhausted every single possible way that these lanes could go. I don't even know what to talk about anymore. I will simply narrate what's going on. Miracle with the last hit on the range creep.
That's my job!
No! 11's about to get a last hit, bro!
Oh, the rebound in onto mind control. And then run away.
Okay. Alright, let's take bets. Where's first blood gonna happen?
I think bottom lane.
Okay. I also think bottom lane. What should be Chen?
Well, Chen, get the first blood or be first blooded?
Get the first blood. Alright, I think the nicest thing that maybe they could do bot is harass the Marcy down as much as they can, because she wants to jump in, right? If she is jumping in and trying to dispose you back or what have you, she'll probably just die if she does it on low health. She doesn't want to risk that. So if you can just harass her, keep her off the lane, then when she hits that level 2 timing, it makes it much harder for them. They do have a salve though, which means that they should be able to be fine for that timing, that they feel they can go in.
Yeah, we definitely see how difficult it is though to contest pulls and reset lane equilibrium in that bot lane against Treants, against Fisher. Up at top looks a little better for Brame. Pudge 10 and 5, storming his way up the last hit chart. Miracle 6 and 1, having a few struggles, but like you said, he's a slow starter. He blooms a little later as Nande does get that first blood in the bottom lane on mind control. Spartan,
right.
They hit level 2.
I'm really surprised they got it so deep in the lane, but yeah, I mean, good dive. The heroes have really good range on their spells to do it. No, they're going in aggressive on Nande.
Yeah, TPing straight on the SF. Treants on the right-hand side, so no body blocks coming. And they've got a rebound back in.
Close.
Potential with the mangoes, but doesn't go for it. Just hands a tango over to the SF. There's another big juicy wave going to arrive in front of his tier 1. And that is that ebb and flow of the lane. You push, you pull, you drag back, then it pushes straight back into the SF again.
Yeah, sad for mind control that I mean, he had to summon the Treants and they're like on the other side of the Fisher, but great for Nande, and they're going to be super aggressive right now on GH.
All the fairy fires up. They'll turn and try and kill him. The Treants block the path of the SF though. And Spartan, well, he's got a fairy fire himself. He's away. Nothing really lost there.
Ooh,
Mind control. He's diving. He's got Treants trying to scout out this SF. There's no way to cut through the trees. Trying to raise himself out of here, but MC, he'll have it. Retribution for the Nature's Prophet.
There is nothing scarier on this earth than getting ready to take a wave of creeps under your tower and they suddenly get glyphed. You're like, oh no. Oh no.
Oh god, what do I do?
Yeah. Good pressure. They nearly got that Earthshaker kill, would have been nice and kind of helped stop that from happening, but come back with full health and mana.
And up top, Kuro had the little cyclone creep, put it onto the Pudge, which was very irritating. There's a whirlwind following him around. But similar story here, Wave has been pushed in towards him, so 11's going to get himself some nice last hits under tower. And
he's had these creeps on the tower like the whole lane, it feels like. He's having a really good time. Yeah, like the first 2 or 3 minutes, it felt like, just looking at the CS board anyway, that
that Brame were starting to pull out ahead pretty heavily. But Nigma have done a decent job catching back up. Nature's Prophet really the only one lacking at this current moment in time.
Ooh, they're going in.
Telekinesis back Kuro. I've got this hook still. Doesn't even need it though. 11 just takes him down with a rock while down at bottom lane. They will find MC again with this Marcy SF combo. Brame getting the upper hand in both of the side lanes.
GH gave up bot just to go on mid.
They get Wish, yeah. So GH comes in, swings forward, helps Sumail get the kill there. So even if their side lanes are going a little poorly, they've got that Death Prophet in the mid getting the kill on the Pugna.
GH did a good job of body blocking the Pugna, even though the Fisher didn't completely wall him into the river.
Nice hook. Grabs Kuro. He's just come back into this lane. I don't know if they can finish him. Oh yeah, with the telekinesis they can. Drag him away from the tower. Nothing Miracle can do to really combat that. Get some hits in onto 11. He wants the bash, but it's just not coming. One more hit. There it is. 2 points in the bash will find the kill at long last. While mid lane, they're diving again, this time looking for Spartan. XO from Sumail, pressuring tower with the early catapult. Nigma, they're done with Brame's laning stage nonsense. These lanes are broken down 6 minutes in. They just come for the mid tower push with MC here as well.
My God, I talked about Wish's ability to push towers, but yeah, 5 minutes, take the cart. This is a classic Nature's Prophet maneuver. I didn't even... should have thought about it, to be honest.
We did. We just didn't think it would come so soon.
Oh,
we were talking about how they get a kill, they get a team fight win, they push towers. But yeah, sure. They don't necessarily need any of those things. Just get on top of the objectives.
I think Brame, at least, I will say, doing a very, very good job of punishing the side lanes when this is happening mid. Like, yeah, sure, your GH is going mid to kill Wish, but what is Nande and Spartan doing in the meantime? They're killing Nature's Prophet. Like 11 and Desire top lane, anytime Kuroki moves out of position, they just kill him. I think Desire's done a really good job in this top lane of keeping the camps blocked and like contesting them a lot. It's like one of the reasons why Pudge has a lot of experience as well. Just kind of keeping out of his way, letting him farm under the tower, stopping Chen from doing whatever he wants. So they do have two pretty good lanes.
It's making sure Chen doesn't get the free farm of the jungle, which we've seen previously from these Chens. That gets him the fast mech. And Sumail, his rotation will lead to nothing. Well, he forces the TP from Rubik home and the Pudge away from the creep wave, so I guess it at least releases Miracle, allows him to get some creep kills.
Yep. Sad to have your rotation not work out, but the good thing about it is that you aren't losing your mid tower as a result. Like, you're not being pressured because you took that tower, the wave is super pushed in. Pugna's kind of just like farming and not taking your tower.
Nande, half health. Does get the ulti out and goes for the TP. Anything to stop it. And GH already spent his Fisher, so that's a nah. I'm getting a good amount of farm on these core heroes, Brame. But like I was saying at the start of the game, Spartan, it always worries me when I look at him at 500 net worth with a sentry and 2 tangos in his inventory, you know?
Yeah, I'm not sure they're going to have space to give a lane to their supports on Brame. I mean, maybe someone like Rubik could sit bot and de-push the wave later, but I think Nande's just kind of happy to take these camps, swing to bot, push that wave out, go back into the jungle. They have a ward down on both teams, but most, especially Brame having that ward there is going to mean that SF is always aware of who's in his jungle and if there's like danger afoot.
Our smoke was scouted. Nigma had the vision. They saw it coming, so MC's already TP'd away, and they're playing into mid again. MC getting drained of his life through the decrep of Wish. Not enough to kill him, while on the high ground, the DP gets disposed back in towards the SF, but it's Sumail who's fighting back harder than Brame imagined. And now this map starts to become really, really tight and confined for Brame, with both mid and bot tier 1s going down, the ward coverage from Nigma allowing them to play into that bottom jungle. This then, by extension, allows Miracle just to free farm wherever he wants to go.
Oh, they got the chrono. Gonna probably have to use it if they want this kill.
He's pretty tanky, he is. Didn't get his flash heap off. Damage from the bashes. Add in the Spirit Siphon. But a good save from Desire. Throws them back as Nande does get a kill on GH back into that bottom jungle. It's just all kicking off. Like 9.5 minutes in, we've lost towers. People are battling in these deep areas.
I'm definitely feeling for Sumail in this game. I think a bunch of his moves have not worked out. The one mid where they took that tower was great, but this is like the second time he's come top now and not managed to get a kill. 11 is getting this top tower for free. He's getting a chrono expended on him. He's living through it. He's keeping his life. I love his itemization of this Vanguard, Ring of Protection, and a Wraith Band. So he has so much armor coming out, more than like a typical Pudge, on top of that damage resistance from Flesh Heap. So great space creation top.
They're getting so much farm on all their cores. I mean, it's a slight net worth lead for Nigma, and that is the gap that we obviously see with Kuro and GH getting a lot more farm than their counterparts. So we have the Chen mech, and we're starting to work towards that Blink Dagger on the Earthshaker, as he's saved up 700 gold so far. And these are definitely items that can turn the tide of battle.
Yeah, they got mad timings as well. Like, just in general, even though that chrono didn't work out, they understand their, like, ability to pressure this Pudge now a little bit better. Next chrono they can maybe use for something else, or just bring more heroes. Understand you need someone else as well. Oh. Invis Rubik top. They're just looking at Miracle.
Yeah, just giving him a stare down. So Mask of Madness treads into Maelstrom for him, as GH did to the Shadow Fiend once more. And GH is trying to find these little pockets of farm, but Brame doing an exceptional job of making sure that he's not getting any closer to that blink.
And
yeah, what's the reasoning behind Mom over Midas here? Is Miracle just wanting to play faster with the rest of his team?
Maybe his lane just didn't go as he hoped.
Oh, mid lane, the blast on Kuro. Mech buys him a little bit of space, but Spartan able to finish the job off with Wish. GH with a Fisher, though, allowing MC to TP forward, catch out the Marcy, no rebound available to escape.
Yeah, when it comes to this Mask of Madness, to go back to what you asked, it's definitely something that I've seen Voids go when they're struggling, because they use the lifesteal to be able to farm the jungle. Because otherwise, you just sit in the lane. You're happy. You're taking you're getting your Midas. You're just sitting in the lane. But it definitely went quite poorly for them. I think they did a good job on Brame of just pressuring, killing Kuroki, making the lane difficult and uncomfortable. God, they're smoking top again.
If they don't connect on a meaningful kill. It's a good Fisher block.
Great
That
block.
should be the end of 11 now. Pudge gets the Dismember out. He's incredibly tanky, nearly taking GH with him. Needed the mech from Kuro to make sure they're all topped up.
I can translate this into a tower.
Looks like they can, yeah. But in the meantime, we've got this SF who has a mom himself. Going into that Dragonlance.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
A very fast farmer, this Shadow Fiend. Closing on 7k, just 13 minutes in.
This Pugna definitely hasn't played out the way I thought it would. I thought he would be the one pressuring mid tower and being the one that helps take top, but he's actually played a lot around mid. It's sort of nice in a way, just because it alleviates a little bit of attention away from the Pudge early on, and this SF is recovering. I mean, his lane was fine, to be honest. It's pretty good, actually. But yeah, they've kind of just been skirmishing around mid with supports and stuff, and letting people do their thing. But for now, like Nigma, they've put this ward up top at the entrance to the river. So they're just going to see any hero that decides to go up there to farm. Because sometimes what heroes will do is they TP top or they walk top, and they don't show on the wave there, even though it's kind of pushing in. They'll just farm the hard camp and hide and wait and see if they can get a kill like that. So this ward just means that Nigma are always aware who's top, if they can go for a kill there, if they can go for smoke. They've got that sentry on that high ground cliff, so they know there's no ward there. There's nothing scouting them. I don't think Brame have really invaded their jungle at all, so I don't think they think there's any deep wards either. So I think top is pretty secure for Nigma right now.
Yeah, they already brute forced mid and bottom lane, so they can breathe. Mind control. Caught by the rebound, dispose again. Spartan and Nande pairing up beautifully to find that kill, but the escape might not be as easy. Chrono is here, ready for Miracle, but the Requiem is going to fear them away. Spartan with the Unleash finds a double kill for Nande. Shadow Fiend picks up the double. And Nigma not wanting to chase any further because the reactions from Brame, they're bringing 2 additional heroes down here. They want to continue fighting. Nigma kind of stuck on an island, but good time walk from Miracle. Gets him away. But the pressure on the tower will come regardless.
Oh, that SF move was sick. Just hiding behind the trees. I mean, that should, you think you're going to die there. They're kind of trying to pincer you. Earthshaker coming from below, Faceless Void coming from above. It's kind of like you're in a lose-lose situation. But yeah, using that vision advantage and hiding yourself with that ult, what it turns into a kill, turns into a live. Like, that's really nice. And I think now Nigma just try to aim for some timing where they think they can take a good fight. They need this BKB on the DP. They can look for pickoffs with this Orchid. I think Mind Control. He's finishing that soon in the next like 100 gold. This as well, like GH is slowly working his way towards that Blink Dagger. He has to seed this farm bot to the Faceless Void, I think, who's also pretty poor.
Yeah, kind of in catch-up mode.
Yeah, it sucks when all your heroes are kind of clawing for some money. Like Kuroki playing Chen, who's like a naturally greedy support as well. Generally, you want to steal like enemy farm space with a hero like Chen or Enchantress. At least he has his mech, so he's kind of like core item's done.
Yeah.
And now you just let your other heroes have the space.
I mean, Sumail probably also itching to use this Exo to get stuff done, but he's going to have to sit back a little bit, take a back seat in this game for the next few minutes to try and get that farm going. But yeah, that move down bottom also meant that 11 was able to push out a couple of waves top, got into the jungle, farmed himself to Aghanim Scepter, which he's basically got done already.
Oh yeah, he just finished it. It's coming on courier.
That's
So
like
they
carry
have,
punch timings.
Yeah. I'm just thinking now, like, are they ready to go? We're about to finish a vessel on Pugna. I mean, they're smoking on Nigma now. They do have the Chrono. Like, they can definitely take a good fight.
It feels like they need to.
Yeah, the
I mean,
Orchid is done on Mind Control, which is a big point.
Well, this is one of those things, right? We pointed out in the draft. If they win a fight here, get 2-3 kills, they could think about Roche. They could think about these big objectives on the map. Spartan's going to be the one that breaks the smoke. Good silence from Sumail, though. Catches them both. The supports are down. Chrono landing on SF means they'll all vie for control of that high ground as they sprout and catch Nande. Decrep life drain, heal back up. The save from Wish gets him away. He's hasted. Speedy SF gets out of danger. Echo Slam from GH will catch the Pugna, though. Find the extra kill. So they do swoop through and find two. Marcy somehow escaping that with her life, rebounding away from danger as well.
Oh, so she did. I totally thought she died.
I thought she was gone.
I was gonna correct you, like, actually, it was 3 deaths. Alright, I mean, it's not ideal that you didn't get the SF, but it's definitely a successful smoke. Any kind of move like that, which alleviates a little bit of pressure from your map and gives you that gold from kills, is gonna be alright, but you can definitely make moves now that Chrono's down.
That's the thing, though. Like, does it alleviate pressure? Like,
no, it doesn't. I lied to you. I lied to you.
You spent all your cooldowns, got a couple of kills, and again, you know, we pointed out this during the draft. They just wait to respawn and go out on the map to play the game. Get the Roshan, get the Aegis in the hands of the SF. He's gonna Requiem the Roshan as well to make sure no one's jumping in, no stealing at all.
Alright, well, you know, it alleviated pressure for 1 minute while they did the Roche. You know, just during that one moment, free CS, baby.
Yeah, free farm for Miracle. He's got his Maelstrom now. Trying to work on that BKB.
DP's about to have hers. Miracle's quite far off his. So is Mind Control. Brame, I would say with this Aegis, they can use their Pugna to take top tier 2 if they want. Looks like they're already angling up there with other heroes a bit, but they're taking it kind of slowly. You don't have Echo Slam. You don't have Exorcism. This would have been a good moment to kind of brute force it, but I think they just still scared. You can always get that like Fisher block off that and get bursted down, right? You gotta play it a little bit safe.
SF doesn't know the meaning of safe, just pushing out waves, getting up in that top lane.
Hey, he's got the Aegis, he's feeling it. I think Brame still want to play for their map control, because Nigma, on the other hand, like, what are the things that they can do during this Aegis? They want to keep farming. They are aware that the later the game goes, the stronger Miracle is. This is their win condition. The Faceless Void outcarries all. So he's happy to just sit in this triangle and farm as much as he can. Meanwhile, Mind Control with that global presence and the teleport, he's able to just split push and throw out these trees. If they commit all their heroes to top to try and take a tier 2, I mean, GH is already set up there. He wants to defend it, it looks like. And Mind Control's just going to pressure bot with the tree ants, and you might lose your tier 2 while not even taking theirs. So I think not GH, but Nigma just want to delay.
Yeah, they're all greenlit now. Everyone's got their ultis ready. And prepping with wards kind of shallow in their jungle. Try and see anyone coming. Miracle just sticking in that triangle, like you said. But MC will TP up top. Keep that wave pushed back. It felt like Brame maybe were in a position here where they could start invading a little deeper, hunting for the Faceless Void, but it's been a good move from Nigma to create that barrier in front of him. Make sure there's no real way to get towards him.
Now all their teamfight spells are up. We've seen how effective teamfight was in their series
Nigma.
versus Goon Squad, yeah.
Samel, the one leading the charge. Smoke breaks, Wish and Desire. Another good two-hero silence, and the Chrono from Miracle aiming straight towards Pugna. No one to save him now. And two heroes dead just like that. DD Rune has spawned bottom lane. And it looks like Brame is still trying to get themselves back into their triangle to get control of the map again. But Chen, he just stands his ground and says, yeah, all right, yeah, come on then.
Yeah, he's got those creeps.
Come on then, Shadow Fiend.
Moving in.
Yeah, you're going to keep hitting me. Oh, sidekick on SF. That's a little spooky. And the hook from 11. Lined it up. Reels him in. Spartan jumping in. I'll aim for the Chen army instead. Remove all of his troops.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
So now another window. All the ultis expended. No, they've still got Exo and Echo Slam.
They have two ultis, but the Chronosphere is the biggest. As long as you have a BKB up and you're not getting caught by surprise by GH, you're kind of okay. I do think they should still play, a little reserve. You don't want to be diving tier 2s because that is how you sort of start to group up by accident and then you get Echo Slammed. The Nigma have a really good way of disengaging this as well. Oh my.
Spartan. But if you can jump the Earthshaker and stop him from jumping you, great start to the fight. Blow up GH. Mind control, trying to give chase. Nande thinking about the Requiem, but BKB popped by Sumail to move towards 11. Gets the Dismember onto Miracle. Silence comes as well onto this Pudge. Miracle has to time walk away. Can't deal with the Aghanim's rot.
11 is just standing his ground. He's so tanky. It's so hard to kill him, even using this exorcism. I didn't think that mid jump would go well. I genuinely thought that they would expend the Hand of God. I thought that would be why it's hard for them to ever dive a tier 2 tower, but they didn't feel like using it on GH. I think just because they understand, okay, well, he's gonna respawn pretty quickly anyway, and he already got his Fisher off.
And this game is slipping pretty quickly. There's not much in it net worth-wise, but in terms of cores getting farmed, Shadow Fiend is right up at the top, a good 4,000 ahead of the nearest counterpart in mind control. They've got map control as well, and taking out that mid-tier 2 into the top jungle to grab the outpost. I mean, Nigma, yeah, you've been saying, going into late game, they're going to feel reasonably comfortable with this Faceless Void in their hands, but they need more time to get there. Weather this storm for the next 5-6 minutes.
Well, we're bound to hit the mind control BKB timing. Miracle also kind of getting in there. And Aegis has expired. I mean, they've been using their smokes on Nigma primarily around this Chronosphere, and now that it's up again, maybe we see that again. It looks like Brame are trying to beat out that timing and start by themselves. They smoke up first. They want to taking the initiative because Nigma are trying to be greedy. They are trying to get a lot of net worth, so they're splitting their heroes on the map, like Void being bought.
Just look at Spartan. He's just sprinting towards. Is there a hero here? I'm looking for it. I'm looking for it. I'm looking for it.
That is what one tends to do with a smoke.
Yeah, well, he's like 1,000 rage ahead of any of his teammates.
Yeah, yeah.
He's got no one to rebound off, nothing.
Oh, he doesn't even have a blink. It's very, very...
Oh, he's incredibly poor.
Yeah, I mean, you were right, by the way. He is, position 6. I've been watching his net worth on the net worth graph the whole game. Oh my god. He had, brown boots for the longest time.
It's Spartan. I remember the days of him playing Bane and not having brown boots 15 minutes in.
Jesus Christ.
That's how selfless this guy has been through his career. But he brings great huddles, great team fight shot calling. And he is definitely the voice and the leader of every team he's been involved in.
Yeah. It's oh guys, I noticed there's a sentry in stock. Don't worry, I'll fix that for you. Alright, well here comes the smoke. They do not have Faceless Void with them. His BKB is arriving now. Maybe he'll TP top or just connect to his team. It looks like they're just gonna kind of smoke towards Void instead and play it that way. Play off this haste rune.
Thanks. MC set up bottom tier 2 as well. The great strength of this Prophet, similar as the Dawnbreakers, the Spectres of the game, able to play away from your team and then TP in as they catch the Marcy. Quickly take her down. MC didn't even need to TP, so he can stick it bottom if he wants to.
Yeah. I think Mind Control's been doing a nice job of using the Treants to scout things as well. He's just been like sending them around the map a little bit. Like even then, I think 11's Pudge was scouted by a Treant. And he's just like forced a little bit back. Wasn't in position to save the Marcy when they went on it.
Well, it feels like they've broken past that period of spookiness with the Aegis on the SF. Now 30 seconds to wait until fast spawn, and that's where it's really going to start brewing, these team fights. Like if Brame aren't able to get a pick off and go into Roche, I don't know, I struggle to see them like sneaking it or going in there raw, because Nigma do have that chrono, the blink echo, you know,
It's so scary.
They've got to set up for Roshan rather than just go for it. They're trying to come bottom. Nande, Invis with a Requiem, left across. Fear is there onto the Faceless Void, and the heals aren't enough. They tried with the Hand of God to keep him alive. Now he's dead for 47. And Roche alive in 40.
I think if they had a smoke right now, they could just run back top. It's where, you know,
the important stuff is.
Exactly, yeah. But they won't have that, so they'll just kind of run instead. This gem on Spartan, I really like that pickup when you're ahead or trying to play a lineup like this where you're a bit, you know, afraid of getting to that late game. Being able to limit how much vision they have, especially when they're playing so many teamfight heroes that want to initiate and want to have vision to know the targets to get. Like, this gem is very important. I mean, Nigma have amazing wards down right now and have had for quite some time. This one in the triangle has gone undewarded for the entire duration. They have multiple cliff wards. This top is so secure for them. Whereas I don't think there's any vision for Brame. They need to think about how they want to tackle getting into this area as Roche starts to approach.
Yeah, it's definitely definitely one of the struggles when you're playing this 5-man unit against, you know, the Chen, the Prophet, the DP. They're all split pushing, shoving out top, TPing bot to get that lane pushed out as well. Yeah, you know, ping-ponging around the map, trying to contend with and deal with all these issues. And that leaves Roshan potential team fights open around the pit.
Yeah. So they used scan on Brame, so they knew Nigma Galaxy was playing up there. They're gonna play it carefully. I think both teams are now aware that this Roche is the big thing, and I think they're just gonna kind of slowly poke and prod it on Brame. They have the gem. They'll want to like slowly deward as they go. I think Nande being up like this is a bit scary, because yeah, this is, you know, he got scouted. Miracle's literally staring at him right now. Whew. But there's that punch hook.
Doesn't want to make the jump just yet, though.
Yeah, he'll just get hooked out. It's really risky to do that with no vision. I mean, they had vision, but it, you know, it's gone now.
Time to go again? Oh, they're just gonna wait. No, you can't just walk into the pit like this.
No.
Oh, the Treant dies. They're going for it. Nigma.
That is damage.
Nigma have a scan, and oh god, you're right. This sidekick SF doing 400 damage a pop.
Well,
Roshan is nearly dead already. He's trying to go for the Requiem, but he's been bashed up. Fisher from GH. They know they're inside, and they chrono the SF. Miracle with his BKB, but the save with a hug. Requiem now from Nande. Spartan's about to drop to Sumail, charging towards him, and a snatch from 11. Grabs the Aegis inside the pit. MC with his BKB TP. Oh, inside the Sprout. He's away, safe and sound. GH with another Fisher block as they buy back Marcy. Pudge holds the Aegis. Nigma spent the majority of their teamfight ultis for this, but a minor win from Brame?
That was hype. They stole the shot on Nigma, but the Aegis steal was great. I mean, I thought he was gonna go like 8 different ways. I'm like, okay, SF's in the pit. He's gonna get the Roche, but then the Fisher from the Earthshaker, yeah, he can't get it, and then Miracle's just in there. I was so sure he had
Watch
that
it back.
Aegis.
Watch it back.
It was like so scary. This like total clip on the edge. What a great hook save.
Decrep, life drain, hook save. 11 blinks in to grab the Aegis. And a stolen chrono in the end as well from that Rubik.
11, the massive MVP of that fight. Like not only does he save the SF from the chrono, but then he makes up for like no hero being in the pit anymore to then go and steal the Aegis. Like what a Chad. It is definitely super sad for Nigma though. Like, they get a shard as a, you know, a little pay prize, but like you just weren't like kind of set up enough. I mean, they stole it basically from right under your nose. They gave that one moment where they walked back and suddenly they lose it all. But
And now really a lot on the shoulders of GH with his blink level 2 Echo Slam. SF doesn't have Aegis, so they make the move on him. With a quick lift, the telekinesis stops the combo. No chain stuns for you. 11's in the midst of it all as well. It does die. First life gone. SF turning to fight. Life steals a bit, but Sumail survives. Pudge now stuck up on this high ground, being drifted away. Was that the seal totem allowing him to bounce over the Fissure? Miracle wants blood now. Desire is in the trees. Fissure is there. So the Void can unload a bit of damage onto him, but the hook across into the Unleash Nod. Just a bit of a poke onto Nigma. Make them feel uncomfortable. As Mind Control TPs forward, but won't be able to catch any of the retreating members of Brame. They get the tier 3. They lose the SF and the Aegis. But it's such a fearful situation for Nigma to be in right now.
Yeah, that was definitely a pretty poor, like, high ground siege from Brame. Maybe relying on, or, you know, 11's been so tanky all game, maybe they thought he would live for much longer, but he died pretty fast with that Aegis, and SF got put down so low that you're playing into no Exorcism and no Chronosphere. I think they could have taken it maybe a little bit slower just to kind of siege with this Pugna, not overcommit. Now you've lost your Aegis, which feels bad, and you've given Nigma time for their cooldowns to come back up. So I think like Nigma in a very commanding position right now. You see already in their moves, they're just like taking this triangle area, trying to get as much map as they can in this period of respawn. This is the kind of mistakes that I think are going to give Miracle this way to get the Scotty, get the damage item, whether he wants to go something like an MKB, a Butterfly. We've seen Butterfly be very effective, just more and more attack speed, more and more agi.
Yeah, it feels like... I'm struggling to really describe my emotions on this because, oh god, Nande, he's been dusted, he's been spotted inside his Silver Edge, caught out by Miracle and Sumail. They've got a hook across on the Faceless Void though, gets his BKB off before the Dismember, but the Shadow Fiend's down and out, and Miracle is chasing the Pudge with a Chrono on him. They'll find 11, and yeah, Nigma have broken past the fearful phase of this game. They've got towards mid to late game now with this Faceless Void. It was looking like Brame were in such a dominant position with the Roshans they've taken, with a move up to high ground, but maybe handing too much to Nigma now.
You can never get carried away. It's the one big problem. You gotta keep it tight, keep it clean. We've seen how slow some of these games can get with these teams not wanting to give anything away. One small mistake. Obviously now they did use their cooldowns. It becomes another back and forth of, okay, they've used Chrono, guys, we can go fight. I think SF, when he respawns, he needs to just recouple his souls, and then maybe they could make a move. This is a Scotty finish now, a Miracle. He's looking really good. I think Mind Control as well, finishing that Bloodthorn, it really showed off for them in that last fight, just how easy it was to kill Pudge in that Chrono with the extra damage and crit.
Yeah. And this Faceless Void just feels like such a trump card, he's got late game security with scaling, he's got team fight contribution through Chrono. It's always one of those kind of safety nets you have here as Nigma, having overwhelming team fight through him and the Earthshaker. Oh no, Brame, Nande, he goes up high ground, hits into Sumail a couple of times, but look at GH, eyes on him. Wait for that Blink Echo Slam, he's hidden, there's no vision. Oh, but they have spotted him. They get a bit of ward coverage on the high ground and trying to play towards Miracle's Void. Hook into Dismember, but the BKB comes, the stolen Chrono onto Sumail, locks him in place, but they found the Rubik kill, snipe him in the back, and Sumail's too tanky to contend with. Spartan tries to unleash, and Shadow Fiend thinking about the Requiem. Brame trying to reset around this Marcy with a Requiem Fear, pushing Mind Control back, but GH, with these Fissures and the Shard, he's just chain stunning people for days. He's got the Force and the Blink and the Echo, he's got the two of them locked in place, and Nigma, they've got this game secure now for sure. 2 cores gone, the chase for more. Oh, the hook will try and save the Rubik, but it's not gonna work. The stolen Echo Slam looks fancy, but doesn't do a damn thing. A triple for Sumail. He's gonna be crowned the king of this game now as they break up high ground. Look for these tier 2 towers in the middle lane. Maybe push up top for the tier 3s. They've killed all 5 of Brame.
Yeah, you could definitely take, got a lot of racks here. There's not very many buybacks. You have 30 seconds till SF's up, but that's without souls. So they can take this top here, maybe then swing around to the mid tier 2 at the least if they want to play it carefully. But Chrono's back up, Gary. You're respawning into a Chronosphere. They're starting to play their cooldowns the right way. Hey, we're like, okay, Chrono's down. Now we got you with the Echo Slam. Now Echo Slam's down. We got you with the Chrono.
ulti-cycling to perfection.
Yeah.
Sumail with his Exo takes top lane. Mid-tier 2 is easy. And they just walk up the ramp.
It's, doesn't feel good to be a Brame fan right now, but they still got tools. You know, if there's a Chronosphere, but they still have the punch hook to save from it. You have the Pugna saves potentially as well. But this is looking like maybe another Rax here if they can't stop them.
Miracle just gonna shrug it off. 2 lanes of barracks for Nigma. Really hitting their stride now. Mind control swiftly down to bottom to push that lane in. And Brame, they've spent so many of their smokes. They've got 1 on the Marcy. It feels like they've got to do something here to get in behind Nigma, find the Earthshaker, stop that surprise initiation. Because allowing Nigma just to come up high ground here. Risky prospect. Requiem left, dismember in. They found Miracle. They've got the Faceless Void. Beautifully executed by Brame. Hand of God will try and keep mind control alive, but that's not working out for them. Nande picks up a double kill as they hold their high ground.
That area control with the SFO is so sick. Just like no one can really get in and save him because everyone's feared. It's very nice. And just being able to cover it as well. How many times they've done this game where Desire just gets that lift off, which just makes sure that they cannot react at all to the ult. I know they were doing that earlier. I didn't check if they did it then. but yeah, super well executed, good defense. I was getting worried because I was like, yeah, they don't really have that typical team fight spell like a black hole or the Echo Slam, Chronosphere, things that kind of ensure that you can fight back like that. But yeah, they use that Requiem very well. Gives
so
them
nice.
Bit of breathing room. They still have Chrono when they respawn on Nigma though.
And Brame do recover their gem. It was left on the deck in the Radiant Triangle, so they've managed to find that back. 2.5 minutes for next Roshan as well, so yeah, it's plenty of time for Nigma's cooldowns to come back up. Maybe even get a team fight, use them, reset, and then go Roche with the next round.
Felt like seeing those previous fights, Brame really struggle when their initial jump goes poorly. Because we saw Nande just walk in and start to click away. And you had this like Rubik Chronosphere onto the DP, but I think Void kind of jumped away and he just sort of altered the quick, snappiness of Brame's initiation. And because it elongated how long the fight went off, like the BKB started to run out, everyone was sort of starting to be a little bit out of position for all this team fight, and it just kind of, I don't know, put Brame on edge, and they had to kind of start to run away, and everything sort of fell apart. It feels like they really need this sort of, in a situation like that anyway, it feels like they really need that quick jump and kill. Like, someone's dismembered, and then they're dead, or someone is requiemed, and then they're dead. Right? Anything that goes longer, you start to be a threat of all this DP damage, this Chronosphere, this Echo Slam. Even like Mind Control now is just scaling as that third core where he has the Nullifier and the Bloodthorn.
The Doomstick, it's ready.
Yeah. But a great close game.
Thinking about item progression, I keep looking at Spartan, honestly. Like Shiva.
Please don't look at him. He's
fluffy hat. He's got a wing.
You're making fun of him.
Oh, poor little guy.
Alright, here we go. All spells up. Ooh,
everyone's ready. 11 Pudge blinks away. Caught, but dragged away with telekinesis and dispose. Spartan is open. So they'll chase him down instead. And now Brame a little separated. Yeah, Nande has to TP away.
Do you think Nande's like terrified as his Marcy's just running directly behind him in his direction? It's like, can you run somewhere else, please? You're leading everyone towards me.
Go south, go south.
Go south. Run, run.
This entire map just crawling with Nigma heroes, though. And they go top, they swing there, take control of triangle. They're into mid, pushing wave. MC grabbing outpost down bottom.
I think anytime you're Brame, as long as if they're using their smokes and they're not getting a core kill, I think you can be pretty happy with that as Brame. Oh, he is seeing Mind Control.
They do have eyes on him and kill off the Nature's Prophet, but I think that's a price Nigma are willing to pay. 2 heroes, 3 heroes showing bottom means Roshan is a freebie for them.
It is. Good heads up though, I think Mind Control has been playing bot the entire game. which is obviously really good because he's constantly applying pressure. He's making you have to think about that lane. He's making it so that, you know, Brame committing a Rubik to the bot lane and stuff throughout the mid game instead of being able to run as 5. But yeah, at some point you recognize the pattern. Okay, he's gonna be there. Let's go gank him. And it was a really nicely executed gank there.
Oh my god, 11. Oh my god, yeah, Miracle. Just goes in with a chrono, the Ags, the stolen chrono back. Spartan's already dead, 11 trying with his BKB, with the life drain healing him, but Wish becomes the focus of Miracle now. There's another fight in the back as well. Focus all over the place as Nande. Oh, can he get away from this? He's spent everything. No Silver Edge and no Hurricane Pike, but he has the life drain until the stuns come. GH and Miracle landing the Fishers and the Bashes right when they needed to.
Oh yeah, they got that nullifier now on mind control that makes the save from Wish so much harder to put out. I mean, they're dealing too much damage for this Pugna life drain to mitigate as well.
There's no buyback on SF. So that means Exo from Sumail will lead to Mega Creeps. Mind control TP's back across after buying back himself. Desolator there for MC. Gonna shred through these buildings. Miracle trying to take down the Nether Ward, but just poking at Wish a little bit there. Try to put this game out of contention now. This Aghanim's Void, incredibly irritating with his shard on top of it. Just time walking, rewinding, bashing on his way through. And Tier 4's open season for Nigma to break down these buildings and close out game 1, 41 minutes in. 20 more seconds for SF, but in comes Miracle. Bashing, cruising. GH with a Fisher block, keeping them in their fountain, and Miracle, yeah, just time walks in and clears out the Rubik. GG called, game 1 is done, and Nigma, after maybe a shaky start in the first 15 minutes, exceptional play from Brame. Nigma come back with their overwhelming team fight capabilities.
Indeed, yeah, they definitely executed their lineup to what it wanted, right? They tried to play it kind of safe. You know, we need this Faceless Void to get his items. Whenever he has Chrono, I think they did a really good job of bringing him and getting him involved and using that spell. Obviously, they had a lot of problems around, you know, on the way. I won't say it was a flawless game. There was, you know, wasted Chronos and mistakes made that led to